Next up on our agenda is a presentation by our Yuba Center Arts. Presentation would be by David Reed, who's our Executive Director of Yuba Center Arts and Culture. Mr. Reed.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Members of the council, staff, and members of the public. Am I on? I should know this from the Sutter County presentation. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, staff, and members of the public. Thanks for, I'm glad I get to be the closing act. What a bunch of incredible proclamations. But my goal here is to, I think most of you probably have heard of the Yuba Center Arts Council. We're actually Yuba Center Arts and Culture now. Some of what we do is not retail per se, but we've got a lot of exciting things going on, things we've been doing for years, some new things, new adventures. So bear with me. We're going to whip through this very quickly, as I've promised. And let me maybe expand a little bit on what you may know about us. We want to change the way and challenge the way you think about art in all of its many forms. We've got an incredible board of directors, very supportive of what we do, what our staff does, and we really appreciate that. This is our 40-year anniversary. We are the local affiliate of the California Arts Council, and that's a great thing because it opens up a certain amount of funding for us from the state each year. We're the only two-county arts agency in the state. Of 58 counties, 54 are represented by one of our sister organizations. We provide services, just like we've collaborated with Yuba City over the years on the utility box mural project, or the city of Live Oak with all the large wall murals that we've done up there. We provide support services for artists trying to make a career out of it, or at least provide supplemental income. We put on a lot of events. We have a lot of different portfolios that we'll talk about a little bit more in detail. As I said, our 40-year anniversary, pretty exciting. One of the great examples are our arts and education programs. We, for example, work with Yuba City High and River Valley High, and in a typical year, host gallery exhibits for the students. Get them outside the school environment into a kind of a public setting. We've had a lot of local submissions for the Congressional Art Competition each year, including some who have wound up winning and with their artwork being sent back to Washington, D.C. The Poetry Out Loud programs, the National Poetry Recitation Program, we get tremendous support from the Yuba City high schools and Sutter, I should say. Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, we do this in collaboration with Jessica at the Sutter County Museum. This is original creative writing and original artwork that students submit for national, regional, and national adjudication and scholarship money. Very special arts we couldn't do last year or this year, but it's a tremendous program. We go into the classrooms during the school semester for the special education students, and then have a big one-day celebration and get a lot of support from the community as the students display their artwork and skits and little musical events that they put on. Our collaboration with Yuba College is equally deep and long-lasting with student art shows. In fact, we had our first event of the year 2 weeks ago with a senior art class gallery opening and reception. We do a teacher appreciation event each year and hand out an Arts Educator of the Year award, again, to show our respect for our local arts educators. We've done a lot around the Veterans in the Arts project, had a lot of things like our portraits of veterans. You see samples hanging on the wall, bronze casting portraits of veterans. Mr. Dosher and his son participated in the Bronze Project, which was, how often do you get to play with bronze? It was pretty remarkable. These are some more of our portraits of veterans. We created the Veterans Art Park in Marysville, veterans who were supported by professional mural artists who created these different panels. As long as they still have the B Street property, those murals will remain. Veteran ceramics projects. We did 6 or 7 sessions with master ceramist Chris Thompson. He's the fellow in the background there with a long beard. He's a pretty remarkable ceramic artist and U.S. Air Force veteran. The murals of Live Oak, you may have seen some of those. They're getting ready to renew that contract. I'll be up with them in 2 weeks. An amazing outdoor art collection, if you will. Did the mural marathon in 2018, turning the old Sonny's Market into a destination. People gather there for photo ops in front of those 5 murals. The utility boxes you all know well. That was the one across from Yuba City High School. Student designed it, and with the participation and support of the department, including Pam Novak, the head of the art department at Yuba City High School. We've got youth choir programs, youth performing arts programs. We collaborate with our friends Amaya and Sean with Tri-County Diversity under normal circumstances, screening films for the youth in the community to come out and experience in a safe setting. And once we get our theater open again, we'll see what happens on June 15th, and if we can open up, we'll resume that program, so stay tuned. Celebration of Souls, one of many cultural types of events that we do. It's our Day of the Dead event, Dia de los Muertos. We started at the mall a few years ago. It's kind of morphed, and now a number of these kinds of events occur each year. But it's a great celebration of that aspect of Latinx culture. We've done world music programs, Phoenix Drum and Dance from Sacramento, Irish music, flamenco music, lots more to come. For the love of Frida, Frida Kahlo, she's so iconic, and it's so fun to do an event sort of focusing on her artwork. And Lila Rivera, one of our local artists, is just a great curator of that event each year. We bring out folklorico dancers and just really put on a show. Harvest the Arts is our big fundraiser each year. Probably not going to happen this year, but John Heyer has been a great host for us for many years. If you've ever been, it's just a beautiful outdoor celebration of art and food and live music, and we just absolutely love it. We've done art crawls on Plumas Street. We've gotten grants to take students on field trips. This was actually January of last year was the last one, where we took 45 students from Yuba City High School to Los Angeles on a 3-day, 2-night trip to visit the Getty Museums in LA, again, under the leadership of Pam Novak. We got shut down, so scheduled trips to San Francisco and Sacramento were put on hold, but if we can get back in the fall, then we'll get those rescheduled and take some more students to have a real art museum experience. Our Jump Starts grant, this is for at-risk youth, system-engaged youth, everything from juvenile hall to Albert Powell and Feather River Academy, taking poets, ceramic artists, visual artists, Phoenix Drum and Dance, seeing a bunch of kids at Camp Singer sitting around in a circle doing African drumming and dancing was really kind of amazing. And Marcelo Hernandez Castillo is a local, nationally known poet. In fact, he's got the same agent as our national poet laureate, Joey Harjo. He's moving on up. He's had some tremendous, very successful books, and he's been the absolute rock star. He goes into the toughest environments, and for some reason, somehow he communicates with these young people that have had such a tough time, and they write this amazing poetry. So he's a special person. These are some of the student-designed and created murals we've done at Albert Powell, Feather River Academy, all part of that Jump Starts grant. We're getting more and more into kind of art and history sorts of projects. This was a state library grant that helped us create the Arboga Assembly Center, Memorial Park, just south of Marysville, where Japanese Americans were held prior to being sent to the permanent internment camps. We've done that big mural was part of the grant. That's 125 feet long at the Buddhist church in Marysville. Womannequins, that was really the only live event we did last year. These womannequins were decorated, designed by groups and individuals in commemoration of the enactment of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Russ Zollo, the new owner of the Tea Garden House, was just a great partner, and he was struggling like many of us were with live events being canceled, but we used his front lawn and kept everybody safe and distanced. We went virtual last year. We really didn't have a choice, so we created a lot of virtual programming, bi-weekly interview shows. I just got off one before I ran over here with an amazing artist educator from Chico State. And the neat thing about it, what we've learned is that you do that program at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Not many people are going to be able to watch it, but it lives forever after on Facebook and our YouTube channel. We've built up this library of these interviews and conversations with people, and it's really something that will continue in some form going forward even after we fully reopen. We put out a monthly postcard with all of our upcoming events. We try to communicate with people in whatever form they like. You want snail mail? We've got it. You want email, e-newsletters like the one we just sent out today, which recaps not just our events, but we got a big umbrella or big tent, and we encourage local organizations to give us their flyers, arts and culture related, and that all goes out. We've got almost 6,000 subscribers now to our monthly newsletter. We produced 2 virtual student musicals last year that just tremendous success. Kids had a great experience. They were filmed individually, and you put it all together, and it's not that you don't know that's how we did it, but it was a great experience for them. We've got 5 studios at our Calacara Art Studio complex just off Plumas Street in Yuba City. That's been a big success, part of our art mentorship program. Got a guy that makes dinosaurs, animatronic dinosaurs. That's another presentation. This is really exciting. We also got a grant. We're working with the Alliance for Hispanic Advancement. We're going to create a high school mariachi orchestra program by county, working out the details. We got the money. That's a good place to start. Got know where we're going to get the instruments. Now we're out trying to find interested students. So if you know any high school age students with an interest in learning this particular type of music, please send them our way. How about a film festival? Short film festival. I've made it a point not to mention it too many times, but Councilmember Harris is, this was his idea. So we're excited about this. Short films, 10, 12 minutes. We're all filmmakers. We've got iPhones. Go make a video, submit it. The only real restriction is family friendly, of course, but also it's got to have been, principal photography has to have been done in Yuba or Sutter counties. So we're trying to keep it local. If you're from out of state and you want to make one about us, great, come on down. We'll have a big party October 2nd with screenings of all the contestants, and we got some prize money to hand out. For years, we've collaborated with the Sutter Performing, this is the big punchline here, Sutter Performing Arts Association with joint fundraisers to help the redevelopment of the Sutter Theater on Plumas Street. And we pumped a lot of gold into that project, like so many other people did. And it wasn't because of this, but they came to us about a year ago and said, hey, we built this thing. It's about to be finished. What are we going to do with it? We know how to raise money and do the construction, but now what? And the now what was, how does Yuba Sutter Arts and Culture feel about taking this treasure over and starting to program it? And we said, okay. And so it took some time to work out the details, but coming soon, you're going to see events happening at the Sutter Theater Center for the Arts. That's how we've rebranded it. We're having a big kind of open house on June 25th, 5 to 7. If you haven't been in a while, come in, because it's the front half, the main black box theater is done. So it's a beautiful, beautiful center that'll just knock your socks off. Those are some of the things we're thinking about doing, and we're pretty excited. So we're asking for additional financial support. The $10,000 is not arbitrary. That will give us 12 months of it kind of covers the nut. Our staff is covered by the California Arts Council. That amount of money will cover the utilities, insurance for the Sutter Theater until we get up and running. We're going to have to find grant money to fund it, to sustain it. We're not going to make it on ticket sales. Theaters don't work that way. But it'll become such a community center that I think it'll certainly help offset some of the costs going forward. But we have a huge fundraising task with the back half theater. There's another full theater back there, and I know many of you have seen it. And we'll be working on that. But we've got a viable performing arts space in the front half and a beautiful lobby. We'll have a full bar, concession stand, and of course the theater art gallery. And let me say that we very much appreciate years of support from the city of Yuba City in terms of waiving various fees and permit fees and what have you. And we owe you big time, so we're certainly aware of that. So whenever you need a meeting space or a party place, just let us know. We'll be absolutely delighted to host. Continue to recognize and nurturing the arts and see it as a real component of economic development, along with all the other great things going on in the community. So, if you do social media, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're pretty active on all of those. If nothing else, go to our website once in a while, yubacetterarts.org. You can sign up for our monthly e-newsletter. We won't bomb you with a bunch of stuff. But you'll kind of know what's going on, both within Yuba Center Arts and Culture, but also other arts organizations, the Acting Company, the Yuba Center Oratorio Society, the Master Chorale, all of those other great organizations. So thank you very much. How'd I do? Close.
You did well.
I've been practicing. This is my 4th in 3 weeks, I think. Thank you so much.
Would you mind perhaps any questions from the council or
Please.
comments?
I have no questions, of course, but David, I just want to thank you and Abby and the entire crew over there for the hard work you do. I think you have to start sending out a bigger postcard. There's so much stuff going on, you can't cram it all in one spot. And it's wonderful, and it's one of my favorite boards that I'm on over there, because everything is good. Everything is happy. Everything is making the community special and helping us stand out and involving community members at a different level other than just attending something, right? So I appreciate that. I also appreciate how every time I've came to you with an idea or a thought or anything, the answer is always yes.
You got great ideas.
And, well, I don't know if my ex-wife would agree with that, but anyway, my point is, thank you. Everything you guys do, your attitude, your can-do, and the diversity of everything you bring, from kids finger painting all the way up to adults singing opera or whatever, and everything in between, right? And the history and the significance and bringing awareness to some of the things that happen in our community, and it's just great. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Through the mayor. David, thank you. Again, echo what Sean said. I learned so much about you guys the year that I served as the alternate on your board. One real quick question. I know we spoke several months ago. Have you guys finalized your fundraising efforts? Because I know my wife and I have been waiting on that information to see about partnering with you guys.
Yep, absolutely. You're top of the list, and now that we have a date when we know that transference is actually going to happen, it was kind of, back and forth that they need another month. It's in development right now, and you'll receive it likely in the next couple of weeks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you for being the person that takes Sean's ideas. That way we don't have to. But no, I'm kidding.
Oh.
It's a police.
I think that's a compliment.
I got a lot of fire guys back here for back. I'm okay today. No, I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing in the community. I think your ability to obtain grant funding seems very, very at a very high level, which is awesome. I'm a little disappointed to hear that the Harvest for the Arts might not happen, but maybe, that we can get that one going again. I think that's, as you mentioned, is a great community event. But looking forward to attending on the 25th when they pass the keys and keep up the great work.
Great. Thanks so much.
Through the mayor.
Sorry.
Dave,
All right, great.
hey, David and Abby, we are you're a treasure to our community. Without your vision, your work, none of this would have been where we're at now. So I just want to thank you for that, because now we have actual culture and arts beyond what I've seen in the last 10 years. So thank you so much for doing that. I think I'm glad that Councilman Harris is on board and really, truly loves his role in that particular board. I do question some of the ideas that he has sometimes, but he's a great guy in the Arts and Board Council. He does some really neat stuff there. I do have to agree with that. Now, you're asking us for $10,000? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I didn't hear anyone else bring that up. So that's all you need at this point? I mean.
You're asking the wrong guy, Grace.
It's not on the agenda for a decision tonight, so
Right.
that's
No,
something
it's-
we can.
Of course, it's not. I was just
It's budget time, right?
budget time, so you're going around asking. Well, then maybe you should submit a formal request and consider what you fully need for the full year. It's part of our quality of life, as you mentioned on your presentation, and I fully agree that all of those things that you reach out to so much of our community, and sometimes our community has no idea that it really is being ran mostly by maybe 3-4 people, which is 3 people, right? Pretty efficient and amazing. So I love every piece that you do. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks again.
Thanks so much.